Picture the Judean desert, blazing sun, endless rock and sand, and a young Bedouin shepherd searching for a stray goat. It's a routine day, until a goat disappears up a cliff near the Dead Sea. You climb after it, annoyed, and spot the animal by a cave entrance. To scare it out, you toss a rock inside. Instead of a thud, you hear pottery shatter. Curiosity takes over. You and your cousin squeeze into the cave, leaving the blinding sun for cool darkness. Inside you find rows of large clay jars, some broken, some sealed. Heart-pounding, you pry open a jar hoping for treasure. Instead you find linen-wrapped bundles, old brittle scrolls covered in strange writing. Disappointed, you don't realize you're holding a message from 2,000 years ago. These scrolls, hidden away in the desert, are about to rewrite history. You leave the cave, scrolls in hand, unaware of their true value. The world will soon learn of a lost library, preserved by time and chance. This accidental discovery will become the greatest archaeological find of the 20th century. The desert, silent for millennia, has finally given up its secret. What began as a search for a goat will change our understanding of the ancient world. The scrolls will travel from a shepherd's tent to the hands of scholars. Their story is just beginning. The past, it turns out, was waiting for someone to listen. The Dead Sea Scrolls are about to step into the light. A new chapter in history is about to be written, all because of a lost goat, a thrown rock, and a shepherd's curiosity. Sometimes, history's greatest moments start with the simplest acts. And sometimes the desert whispers back. To understand this discovery, let's zoom out to the northwestern shore of the Dead Sea, Khirbet Qumran. This harsh, remote landscape was the perfect hiding place. Here, a community of deeply religious Jews lived around the time of Jesus. They were ascetics dedicated to piety, study, and copying sacred texts. The world around them was in turmoil, Roman armies, rebellion, uncertainty. Fearing destruction, they made a desperate choice: hide their precious library in the caves above their settlement. Hundreds of scrolls were sealed in jars and tucked away in darkness. The Romans swept through in 68 AD, destroying Qumran. The community vanished and their secret was lost for nearly 2,000 years. The dry desert preserved the scrolls, waiting for a shepherd's lucky throw. What they left behind was more than a library, it was a time capsule of faith and hope. The scrolls would outlast empires, waiting for rediscovery. In the silence of the caves, history was preserved. And now, the world would finally hear their story. Back to our shepherds, Juma Muhammad and his cousin Muhammad ed-Dib. In 1946 or 1947 they found 7 scrolls in what's now called Cave 1. Not knowing their value, they hung them in their tent thinking the old leather might fetch a price. They sold the scrolls to a Bethlehem antiquities dealer, Kando, for a few pounds. Kando sensed their importance and showed them to Archbishop Samuel of Jerusalem. The archbishop bought 4 scrolls. The other 3 went to Professor Eleazar Sukenik at Hebrew University. Sukenik immediately recognized the ancient Hebrew script. These were 1,000 years older than any known Hebrew Bible. He wrote, "My hands shook as I started to unwrap one of them." The secret was out. A library from the time of Jesus had been found, perfectly preserved. The scrolls passed from shepherds to scholars, each step revealing more of their significance. What began as a simple sale would ignite a global academic sensation. The world was about to learn just how much history had been hiding in the desert. The scrolls' journey had only just begun. From a tent pole to the halls of academia, their story was now unstoppable. The ancient words would soon speak again. So, what are the Dead Sea Scrolls? They're not just old scraps. They're a library of over 900 ancient manuscripts. Written mostly in Hebrew with some Aramaic and Greek, they offer a window into Judaism during the Second Temple period. The scrolls fall into 3 main categories. First, biblical manuscripts. Copies of nearly every book of the Hebrew Bible, 1,000 years older than any previously known. Second, sectarian texts. Unique rules, beliefs, and apocalyptic visions of the Qumran community. Third, other writings, wisdom, poetry, and legal texts, including works later called the Apocrypha. This collection is a lost bookshelf from 2,000 years ago. It shows what people read, believed, and debated. The scrolls are not just one book, but a time capsule of faith and literature. They reveal a world on the brink of dramatic change. For scholars, it was like opening a sealed vault of ancient thought. The Dead Sea Scrolls transformed our understanding of history and religion, and their secrets are still being uncovered. News of the discovery sparked a modern gold rush, only this time the treasure was ancient parchment. Bedouin tribes scoured the cliffs for more scrolls, selling fragments to dealers. Archaeologists raced to recover what they could before it vanished into private hands. Negotiations became cloak and dagger affairs. In 1954, Archbishop Samuel even placed a classified ad in the Wall Street Journal to sell 4 scrolls. Israeli archaeologist Yigael Yadin, using an American intermediary, secretly bought them for $250,000. The scrolls were finally reunited in Jerusalem. Meanwhile, archaeologists launched official excavations, but often found only fragments. Bedouin had beaten them to the best pieces. 11 caves around Qumran yielded scrolls, creating a scattered, priceless collection. The race was frantic, the stakes enormous. Every fragment saved was a victory for history. The Dead Sea Scrolls became the world's most sought-after puzzle, and the hunt for lost knowledge was on. Finding the scrolls was just the start. The real challenge was piecing them together. Thousands of fragments, some no bigger than a fingernail, awaited scholars at the Rockefeller Museum. Early preservation attempts sometimes caused damage, but new techniques like infrared photography revealed hidden text. Each deciphered word was a triumph. The work was painstaking and slow, with access tightly controlled for decades. This secrecy led to controversy and frustration among scholars worldwide. In the 1990s, bootleg photos and the Huntington Library's open archive broke the deadlock. Suddenly, researchers everywhere could study the scrolls. Digital technology accelerated the process. Now, high-resolution images are online for all to see. The ultimate jigsaw puzzle became a global project. Every new match brought the ancient world into sharper focus. The scroll's story was no longer hidden. It belonged to everyone, and the adventure of discovery continues. What did the scrolls teach us? They revolutionized biblical studies. Comparing the ancient texts to medieval manuscripts, scholars found the Hebrew Bible had changed little over 1,000 years. The accuracy was astonishing, a testament to generations of careful scribes. But the scrolls also revealed multiple versions of some biblical books, showing the Bible was still evolving in the Second Temple period. The Qumran texts gave us a glimpse into a community obsessed with purity and law and the coming apocalypse. Their beliefs echoed themes found in early Christianity: ritual meals, messianic hopes, and a cosmic battle between good and evil. The scrolls don't prove or disprove the New Testament, but they ground it in its Jewish context. They show Jesus and his followers were part of a vibrant, diverse religious world. The Dead Sea Scrolls enriched our understanding of ancient faith. They connected us directly to voices from 2,000 years ago. The past became more vivid, more complex, and more human, and the conversation between history and faith continues. Who wrote the scrolls? Most scholars point to the Essenes, a Jewish sect described by ancient writers as desert-dwelling ascetics. The Essenes broke away from Jerusalem's priesthood, seeking purity in the wilderness. Life at Qumran was strict shared property, silent communal meals, and days devoted to study and prayer. They followed a solar calendar, celebrated festivals differently, and revered a mysterious teacher of righteousness. Their scrolls reveal conflict with the wicked priest in Jerusalem, fueling their sense of mission. Copying text was a sacred duty. They believed they were preserving God's word for the future. Archaeological finds at Qumran include a scriptorium with inkwells, confirming their focus on writing. The Essenes saw themselves as the true faithful, awaiting God's final judgment. Their efforts preserved a legacy they could never have imagined. 2,000 years later, their words still speak. The Dead Sea Scrolls answered many questions, but mysteries remain. Was Qumran truly an Essene settlement or something else? Debate continues. Could more scrolls be hidden in the desert? New technology is helping archaeologists search thousands of caves. In 2017, Cave 12 was found, looted but once home to scrolls. In 2021, new fragments were discovered in the Cave of Horror. Proof that ancient texts still await discovery. The Israel Antiquities Authority is racing to find them before looters do. The scrolls are a testament to the power of discovery and the endurance of the written word. They connect us to a lost world, a conversation across millennia. From a shepherd's lucky throw to a global quest, the story continues. Every new fragment adds to the puzzle. The greatest manuscript discovery still has secrets to reveal. And the search for knowledge in the desert goes on,